you're in tow with all of the, not really that much, but the loot that you've received, and that's about it.
I'm gonna ask Surfer, do you mind escorting to get our payment? I'm gonna sit here and guard Gallagher's body, just make sure nothing weird happens to him.
Well, Galadier, we're there. His Galadier went with the wizard.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Gallagher's body's in a different realm for all we know.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah, then I'll do what I asked Starfor to and follow Mr. Tut. Make sure we get paid.
All right, yeah. So you follow Tut as he goes in and sheds his blood-covered clothes, and he's like disgusted clearly, but at the same time he's not naked. He's got like underclothes on, but at the same time he's like has this basilisk head that he's planning on mounting on his wall, and so he's kind of, putting his hands together and it's like, yes, all right. I suspect that you'll want your final payment, won't you?
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be correct.
Only reason we saved your life.
Okay. Well, let's pay. Walks into his little office and closes the door.
Can I sense motive?
And he walks out. You see unless you guys wanted to do some motive.
Could I attempt to steal the basilisk guys while he's in his office?
Tell me a roll because
Okay. What will the roll be? Because he won't have seen it.
Just do the calculation and honor code.
I mean, you can just do the roll and roll 20 and then just tell me the number. I just can't open it because the internet's so damn slow here.
12. Sense motive did not work.
Okay, so yeah, you think that he's just going in there to get you your reward. I mean, you don't see anything wrong with it.
And then can I attempt to steal the eyes from the basilisk?
He brought it in with him to his room.
The head. Okay.
Remember, you already tried to steal him, so he has a vested interest in watching you to make sure you don't attempt that again.
All right.
But anyways, as you guys are there, he comes out and he's got the rest of the gold sitting there, and I believe it was 1,000 gold. 1,000 gold, yeah. So he says, yes, I suspect that you all will get a little bit more than you were expecting. Excuse me, my pardons. I don't mean to make light of your friend's condition he seems to have found himself in. But here is your prize, and thank you for helping me.
So it's 1,000
And he
that
hands
we
you all.
split among each other.
Yeah, he just hands you all a quarter of it, so you all get 250. Wait, no, you all get 333.
1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3.
Alrighty.
And he says, okay, now if you don't mind, I am going to go clean myself and then begin the process of mounting my prize. I imagine you were all headed towards Aural, correct?
Yes.
That'd be correct.
You're supposed to.
Make sure to give my my to King's Albright. He's my and I suspect that he will want aided me if you do manage to visit the Pleasure Spire. The Spire of Leisure.
What?
We may have missed a little bit of that.
Oh, okay. That would be weird if you didn't. Okay, so he's like, if you happen to go to Oral and visit the Spire of Leisure, give my greetings to the master. He is my regent there in Oral and the one who owns this place, and I'm sure he'll be happy to hear that you've helped me.
Sure, kiddo.
What was the name again? Lamasius?
What?
What was the name?
What?
What was the name?
What?
The
What?
name of I or the are you
Holy
guys like? He said. If you do greetings to Alexander.
shit.
What the fuck?
Alexander, what?
Okay. Yeah,
Said
And okay, I'm going so in and out right now. Okay, he asked you to. You guys kind of get journey to Arl.
Can't you just hotspot your phone?
I don't have enough data.
Risk it. It's
Okay,
worth the
it's-
charge.
Can y'all hear me? Right? Okay.
okay, you're good.
No, it's I can't. We're like already almost out of data. Okay. Anyways, so he kind of says, make sure that if you visit Oral, you visit the Spire of Leisure, and give my thanks or give my greetings to Alexander Fulbright, who's my regent in the city.
Got it.
He's like, but now I must ask you to please leave and be gone from this place. I don't exactly want a group of people who did plan to let me die for a moment there.
But no, you did that to yourself.
Technically, you really had died, and we saved your life.
Hey, we kick you over our
You
foundation.
did, yes, but that doesn't make me any more comfortable. I just think that it might be better for both parties if you just head out as soon as you possibly can.
I don't mind doing that. What about you
I'm
guys?
okay. Let's go.
All right. Thanks for the hunt, Ted. Good wishes to you and all. Have fun. Bye.
I'm going to Miss Bay.
Yeah, and there's enough light left in your away from Tut. Make a perception check and just tell me who.
I got a 26.
No, so I'm
Okay,
the only one who
so-
didn't yet.
You
E4 got
okay?
a 24.
So Morden. Okay, so Morden and E4 both notice that Felix seems to kind of stick around a little bit, and he slips into Tut's room. You notice that he's back almost immediately afterwards, but you definitely saw him go into Tut's room and seemed as though he was conversing with him about something.
Oh, wait, Felix. Do you have a word with Tut?
Still got his tongue raked out or something.
This is much different than the Felix I'm used to.
I don't know what you're talking about, Rex.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm gonna try and see if I can get it on a Discord on my phone. That might be easier.
Data.
How you just wife? Oh,
Brett,
shouldn't
but
these two-
Tut, I figured I would just let him know that we're leaving and say goodbye.
That's why you required a one-on-one with him. You couldn't go in there with us.
None of you seem too interested in talking to him.
Well, I mean, it's a
I took
little.
it that you guys didn't really like him very much.
I can't quite grasp my head around losing Galadir personally. He might come up later, but for now I'm at a loss. I couldn't stop. I couldn't
I-
get him from being stuck by the basilisk, and instead we rescued him. So it's a little heavy on the
Yes,
soul.
well, I can imagine that must be difficult for you. I never really liked Galadir very much. He was kind of a jerk to me.
Yes, well, he tended to, I guess, venture on the melancholy side. Ever since the event with... What was that guy we killed?
Ilsa?
Yeah, Sir Ilsa.
Yeah, Ilser Brightmane.
Ilsa Brightmane. He was a lot more moody.
So I'm surprised to hear you say
I can
that,
see
Morgan.
that.
thought
I
they were
hope at one
close.
point he wasn't such a.
I'm sorry, Rex, still, what'd you say?
I was just saying that I thought you and him were the closest in the group.
I thought so as well. But ever since then, he tended to stay to himself, drink by himself. I don't know.
Maybe we weren't intellectual enough for him. That's what I would assume.
Are we doing a eulogy?
Yeah,
We're
words
having
of...
words.
I just assume he's dead.
He fought the good fight.
Yeah, you know, he didn't sometimes carry his weight. We had to do it for him sometimes, but I'll still miss him. I wasn't particularly fond of him. Little dark for me, but you know.
Oh, these caves have weird sounds.
The winds. I almost feel as if Gallagher's with us. It's eerie.
It's a ghost.
Yeah, did anybody see his bird around?
No, thank God. I hated the way that thing just squealed all over the place. That's
Oh
all
yeah,
it did.
didn't it? It got petrified on his shoulder with him. That's right.
Oh, yeah. And then I look down and I see Harafin's wing as somebody accidentally knocked it off. Just kidding, poor Harafin.
Maybe we should hold on to that.
It's
Yeah.
only worth 200 gold. Who cares?
Harafin's wing?
No. The whole bird.
before happened.
Well, I guess it's best for us to, I guess, carry on. Let's get on the road, head towards
Can you hear me?
Joe of the West. Yeah.
Yeah. You're kind of
Okay,
quiet,
I
but yeah.
got it on my phone. This might be better.
Yeah, we can hear you quietly, but we can hear you actually.
Let's turn you up.
Yeah, you might just want to turn me up. This is probably going to be a much more secure connection. Okay, so yeah, as you guys are kind of talking, you're all figuring, you're getting all your stuff together as you're just completely shitting on Galadir. And Felix is just kind of laughing, and he's glad that he's not the center of attention and questioning at this point. And so the group, you get together your things, and you've found that there's been delivered some more, food and general supplies that you would need to make the rest of the trip to Arl. And so you guys have any last thing you want to do before we leave Oasis?
No, I'm ready to get the hell out. Other than drop to a knee, say a prayer for Galadir and guidance.
Okay.
I'm good.
I'm gonna look for just look around, see if I see the dwarf.
Like you guys all get your stuff together, and you all head out from Oasis. And just like the trip from the lame village, as you guys have taken to calling it, to Oasis, this trip is
Drum roll, please.
This trip is
Can we get this no out of here?
hello?
Hello, senor.
So we're heading towards Oral, walking along a road. It's still deserty, I imagine. I'm gonna ask Rexithil or Sir E4 to put me on their shoulders, whichever one feels more tolerant.
Well,
Hello, can you all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I think that should be good. We should be good for the rest of the night with that. I think I fixed it. Okay, so y'all, while you're kind of all bashing Galadir and shit talking him, you all kind of start to gather your things, and you put together. You've noticed that there's some supplies, and near where that have been put there to make it to the trip, and you guys begin your journey into the great desert to make it towards the great city of Arl. And it's pretty uneventful, just like your trip to Oasis. You guys just kind of walk for like 2 weeks, and it's pretty boring. You guys really are starting to not want to see each other for a little bit, and but you're all kind of happy that Galadir's not there. So at least there's that one thing to console you. But yeah, you guys all just continue to walk. And in the distance, eventually you see a large settlement that clearly can't be just an illusion or just a mirage. And as you approach it, you kind of see almost like an Egyptian architecture to it. The best way to describe it would be, it looks pretty similar to that Overwatch map with the Egyptian theme. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it looks almost like that with the architecture and the things there. And so you guys see that in the distance and start heading towards it. And
Wait, like pyramids?
yeah, so there's like not really a pyramid because I would say it's more kind of the sandstone looking architecture with like the pillars and some sphinxes, things like that. Like not huge sphinxes, but like the lion architecture, and kind of just like a Egyptian-y vibe that you're getting to it. There's no like giant pyramids or anything like that, but that's kind of what you're seeing. So yeah, and you guys kind of approach it, and as you're starting to approach it, you see more. There's not really like a gate or anything. It has some roads that are kind of going in, and then you guys just kind of start heading into one of the roads, and in front of you, you just see a whole bunch of different buildings and sprawling roads. This is a giant city. Like this is the size that Zarn was, except it's still bustling, and there's still people everywhere. And there's still all sorts of stuff going on. And so yeah, what do you guys want to do? What y'all have anything you want to do specifically? Any directions you want to head? I don't have anything made up in Roll20, so.
Are there city guards on the outskirts?
Yeah, I mean, there's some people who look like, kind of your city guard type thing, but you can definitely tell it's not really like a heavily fortified area or anything like that. And well, whenever you guys get Felix kind of chimes in and he's like, "Hey, supposed to be heading to that tavern, right? I can't quite remember the name of it. Do y'all remember? I think somebody told us to go there."
No clue.
Was it like the Hanged Man or something?
Yeah, that sounds right, I think. You want to ask around, see if we can't find our way there?
Yeah, let's find a guard, see if he can point us in the right direction.
Perception check.
Okay, yeah, so you guys kind of walk towards there's like a bunch of guards just everywhere around there. So if you want to like ask one something or...
Oh, guard.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Morin Dorkai, and I was told to meet a friend at the Hanged Man or something of that type. Does that sound familiar to you? Is that a bar in the region?
Ah, the Hanged Man Tavern. Well, you're in the right area of the city for that. It's not exactly the nicest place in town. Are you sure that that's the area that you're supposed to be?
Oh, that's why I've got my bodyguards here with me, but I do believe that's where we're headed. Do you have any recommendations, I guess, and as we walk there to keep our eyes out?
This while on my shoulders.
Well, I guess my recommendation would be that you don't go in that direction at all, but, well, I guess if you insist that you must go there, then, well, I would just suggest that you keep a tight rein on your purse.
Okay, let's
but
go.
as far as the direction goes, it's due west, right down the street this way.
Due west, you say? Okay. Thank you so much for your help, sir. I'm gonna tip him a coin, gold coin.
All right, yeah. You're welcome. Blessings be upon you, or something like that.
Morden, do you want me to go there with you to the tavern? I do want to drop by the Jewel of the West library, just to,
It's really
take a
up to
look.
you, Rexit, though. I know my way around these parts, but you're gonna have to be very careful. You kind of stick out as a paladin and all. You and Jordan might need to watch each other's back.
Well,
Um,
maybe you can guide me there or something. Later on, I'll hang with you.
Yeah, Felix is like, yeah, I believe that you might want to wait a little bit before you check out the library.
Felix, have you been here before?
Oh, never been to Oral before. No, I grew up in that village. Remember?
Yeah, it's just strange that you'd say something about waiting to go to a library. Usually those aren't the most dangerous places, but you might have heard stories about Oral or something.
I've heard many stories. Oral is a very dangerous place, and so I don't want you to get in trouble or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I usually am not good about roaming by myself in cities, so I guess I'll stick with the crew here.
The thing to know about
Yeah.
Oral is that it's controlled by the Traders Guild. Have any of you heard of them?
Not at all.
Nope.
Actually, can I actually recall that? Now that I think about it.
I don't know if any of y'all would have known that other than good old.
Um, is there any
old
nobility or
Oral
religion
here.
related to it?
You can make a knowledge local, even if it's unskilled. You can make it. Is it skilled for you?
No, it is not.
It is for me if you want me to do the roll.
Yeah, you can do it
But
too.
you already know that
Why
information,
didn't-
huh?
Yeah,
I
why
got
don't-
a
Obviously.
I got a nat 20.
You got a nat 20. Okay, well, you know that. Okay, so
You know what you know.
you know not only that Oral is controlled by the Traders Guild, but you know that it's actually there's been some contention of late because there's been this new upstart, and you had kind of heard his name in the just in your travels a little bit, but after actually getting to and listening to Tut talk, you recall the name Alexander Fulbright as kind of an up and coming figure within oral politics and society, and he's kind of this guy, like the new guy to know, I guess. And he isn't like against the Traders Guild, but he's not necessarily associated with the Traders Guild.
With the Traders Guild, they've been running this place for as long as I can remember. I've lived in Oral for a couple of years, and basically nothing really happens here that they don't tend to hear about. They have a lot of the urchins around here on payroll, and they're both kind of controlled on the visible side of things, but also in the shadow realm of the city. So to say that the Traders Guild can't be taken lightly is an understatement. But after talking to that Tut character, this Alexander Fulbright he was mentioning, I do believe that that man is not exactly affiliated with the Traders Guild. I think he might actually be something of a rival to them, so I don't know, we'll have to see, investigate that.
I'll follow you more, and you lead the way, and I'll have my hand on my falchion, just in case.
You might want to put your coin purse closer to your, well, your more precious regions.
I'll take that.
Which would you vote for? Fulbright or trade guy?
I really couldn't say. It's probably best for us to feel the waters first, but the Traders Guild is the old force, and they have the most ready influence. If someone like Fulbright were to make a move, he would have to have made a lot of friends while I've been away.
Oh, okay. I got
Well,
plenty of information.
Yeah, and so you guys have kind of been walking in this direction that the guy has told you to walk in. And so go ahead and everybody make a perception check.
Ah, fuck.
Just like a perception check generally to try and find this place.
Nice.
Rex
Rexaville
got
sees
Okay, you're
very, very just bad looking building, like the kind of building you want to stay away. And he's like thinking, guys, this is it right here. Like, you found it. It's like, you know, your stereotypical drug dealer building, like windows boarded up, like smell of rotting flesh coming from it. Before realizes that that's not the place, and he says, or he doesn't say anything, but he knows that this is actually not the direction. You saw a slight tilt to the guard's finger whenever he was pointing a direction, and you've taken that. You have to go down this street and take a right at the very end, and then look for the sign that looks like a hangman. And lo and behold, you actually see that in the exact direction you went.
I cover Rexithal's eyes
But
and drag him away.
Yeah, and Rexaville is convinced that it's this building, this like sketchy looking building.
This has got to be it, guys. I mean, look at it. Run down, smells of shit and rotten. That's as bad as it gets. Perfect
Well.
description of what the guard said.
My friend, I feel like this heat may be getting to you.
I'll lead the way, guys. I'm just
No,
gonna
no,
start stomping off towards the building.
Sure. Go ahead.
Right. Come on, guys.
Let's
You with
go
me,
this
Jordan?
way.
Yes, I'm always with you, master.
All right, well, I'm gonna not pay attention to them and knock on the door.
So you walk. So you knock on the door, and you just hear like you kind of heard sound coming from inside, and then you hear this sound just immediately stop, and you kind of hear somebody say, "Who are you?"
I'm just here to enter the tavern. Is there some secret word or something? I mean, should be open all right.
There's no tavern here, boy. And if you don't know the code word, you best better go away. You can try and guess it if you want, and make you can make a sense motive check to try and guess the password.
What is Jake's favorite meme?
My favorite meme.
I was thinking that would be the password.
Okay, yeah. So you're like, you're kind of looking at the area around, and you're thinking like, what could the password possibly be? And then you like have the brightest idea, and you're like, how about oral building? And the guy, all right, I guess that's the old password, but it still flies. And he opens, and you just see this completely naked, like this entire room just of naked dwarves. You and like surprised, like, oh, I thought that you were a dwarf. How did you know our password?
I'm just
can
gonna
just
start
tell.
backstepping, and I'm gonna get real flustered and even hotter than I was, and start tripping backwards. Morton,
Yeah, there's like mattresses lining
Strive
the
for?
ground, and you can just.
I'm not here with you.
smell
I'm back at a safe distance.
and I'm looking for y'all. I'm just desperately trying to figure out any body to run to.
Did you have
the
fun?
dwarf kind of looks just been down. He's like, it's been a while since I've been with a human, but you can join in if you want.
No. I'm fine. Wrong place. Sorry. Jordan, come on, let's go. And I'm just gonna
Jordan
grab him
is,
by the
like,
collar.
running away.
I'm gonna have stayed kind of in his line of sight, and I'm gonna wave at him.
Oh,
Okay.
Morton, this place is much more darker than I thought. I'm gonna keep my hand on your shoulder. All right, let's go.
Did
Yeah,
you have fun?
and then
Seems like you found the darling dwarves.
I found something. I'm really gonna have to find a chapel or something after seeing what I saw. Something to wash my eyes out.
You don't know. Some of them might have been women. It's hard to tell dwarves.
okay, so So do y'all head towards the actual tavern that E4 knows
Yes,
the
I'll lead the
location
way.
of?
I started stomping off the other direction as soon as right to the left.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
gonna
so you're like already kind of there.
find Rex or find Sir E4.
So
But
are
he's
you
got a
just
head
kind of like
start.
standing outside E4?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Felix is kind of standing by you, and he's like, E4,
What,
wonderful
kid?
job finding this. What was it that gave it away? The big name, the Hanged Man Tavern, or was it the sign of the Hanging Man? I know that Rexaville couldn't quite get that, but
I don't know, honestly, kid. I think it was just good luck.
yeah, must have been. But it seems
Yeah,
like we're here.
Yeah, I found our fearless paladin. Let's I guess go inside, shall we?
All right, so yeah, you guys, you open the door, and as you open the door, you just see a pretty lively bar. I mean, it's a old kind of run down tavern. You see you're in the bottom floor, and there's kind of a railing on the top that is like a second floor, but it's not a full second floor. You like can peer over. It's almost just like a balcony that wraps around the entire inside, with tables and stuff at it, and it's really lively. Like there's all sorts of there's like a minstrel playing music, and there's like there's a bunch of people drinking. There's like a group of people doing arm wrestling, and then just some people looking grim. Some people just like looking grim, and there's just all sorts of people around here. And kind of in the corner, you see just this almost like a fighting circle of sorts. And then you see the bars in front of you, and you see this bartender who, I don't have a great picture for you guys today, but he has an eye patch over one eye, and he's looking very gruff. And he kind of stares at you guys as you enter the room.
Is anybody
And
like in the fighting circle right now?
I mean, there's like some people around it, but there's nobody actually actively fighting or anything like that.
I'm gonna like kind of, I would say elbow Rex still on the side, but really he's up, so I'm gonna like elbow his hip with my hand and be like, "So E4, you see that?
What?
It's a fighting circle."
Sure.
I'm just gonna, with the wide eyes, as though I just saw something horrific, I'm just gonna look at you and just look back straight forward and just like a blank stare. I'm not even here right now.
Oh, Rex, though, you look like you need some eye bleach. Let's get you something from the bar.
Please.
Barkeep, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much drink does this man need?
Oh, it looks like he needs quite a bit. You guys seem pretty suntanned. Where have you headed in from?
Someplace, Oasis.
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 Yeah.
All right. That's an
Actually,
interesting thing. Actually, I've been waiting for a group of people coming in from Oasis. Do you happen to know who they may be?
Probably
Us.
not us.
Probably not you. Probably not you. Yeah. Well, I was told to look out for a halfling, a wizard, a paladin, and a fighter.
Oh, that's definitely not
Barbarian
us. There's no
man.
wizard.
I don't see a wizard in our posse.
I don't see a wizard either. I see some punk kid over there. And Felix is like, "You mean me?
Oh, no, he's totally a wizard. He
I
can.
can frighten people with my magic."
So I make a bluff check? Or is
Yeah,
that just
go
an
for it.
auto pass?
Yeah, no, you can make a bluff check to like try and bluff and say that he's a wizard, and he'll assist
Okay.
you in that bluff. So yeah, he kind of starts to cast a spell in his hands, and between your bluffing and his casting of this spell, the guy's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. You don't dress much like a wizard, I guess, young chap. Yet you must be the group." He kind of leans in close. He says, "Oh, do you guys know Tava?"
Yes, that halfling.
Oh, yes. Madam Tava is, she's awaiting in the back room. If you see, there's the kind of doorway back behind the bar. If I were you, I would probably head there quicker rather than longer.
Before I go, could you give me just some solid whiskey?
Aye.
I think that you might need it. And so as he's pouring you a drink, and just all of you kind of make, you're all kind of like turning around and just like scanning the bar. And as you're scanning the bar, you see this fighting circle, and you look over towards it. And in this fighting circle, you see this very just haggard-looking drunk man who just kind of staggers into the fighting circle. And you're not even sure whether or not he meant to stagger into the fighting circle, but he does. And he sees this large gentleman, and he points at him and says, "I challenge you to a duel." And then you see this guy enter the arena and just kind of stare him up and down as this guy's like haggard, drunk, and kind of like swaying because he's just barely on his feet. And this guy just kind of looks at him real quick and just punches him right between the eyes, and the guy just collapses. And then you turn around, and the bartender gives you your drinks.
Boy, bartender, that man in the circle over there seems like he's been frequenting your bar for at least a couple hours. Do you know anything about him?
That guy has just been around here for a few days. I swear. All right, listen, I own a bar. I know drunks. All right, and that guy, he has a fucking problem. All right, he's been like that for like 3 days. But whatever, now he's knocked out, and I don't have to worry about him. But if I were you, I would suggest hurrying over to Tava.
Easy enough. Do you guys want to come?
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure me and Jordan have our whiskey.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Unless he
down
left over
it
there.
as just hard as I can and put it back on the table.
I'm gonna
Okay.
give mine to Felix.
I'm gonna. What would
Alright.
that be, like a fortitude save, maybe?
No, I mean just like a shot. It's not really more of an RP thing when it's just one drink.
Okay.
But then, so you guys are all kind of going towards the room. Everybody go ahead and make a perception check as you're going towards the room. Okay, well, so as you're like opening, it's not really a door, it's almost like, you know, those beaded doorways, you know, like with the beads that hang from the ceiling, and you kind of walk through. Both Morden and Rexithil both notice that as they're kind of pushing this door open, they notice that drunk man kind of barely stand up, and he takes the sword that was resting on his hip. He takes it, and you barely even see it move, but you hear like a clack, and you see that the guy who had initially knocked him out just get hit on the head and just completely passed out. And then you see the drunk man just kind of quickly put it back like in one fluid motion and sit back down on the ground. And he continues to look really drunk.
Can I walk up to him?
No, you guys like notice it as you're walking through the door, and so you are walking through the beaded way, so you just don't want to make Tava angry.
That man's got steady hands for a drunk. Let's not wait. Leave Tava waiting.
Yeah, so anyways, so you all walk through, and just to set the scene, you see Tava, who you know, really, I think Morden's the only person that's actually seen Tava up to this point. And you see her just there's like a large throne almost looking chair, and she is completely just lounging. Like she's sitting horizontal on the chair, so like her legs are dangling over one of the arms, and she's kind of like resting with her hands behind her head, like looking at the ceiling over the other arm, just kind of lounging, looking really, really bored. Meanwhile, Dagrock, who you guys all remember as that very talented orc who you met coming on your way to Zarn, he actually is standing directly next to Tava, and he has his hands behind his back, like at attention, just looking very professional and looking like the kind of like the person who you know of Dagrock. He's very professional and very good at his job and ready to do it.
I like
And-
diplomacy. Orc friend.
Oh, Dagrock.
Oh, hold up 1 second before that. You see one other person in this room as well, and is a half-orc woman who is just lounging almost regal-like in this chair, kind of off to the side of Tava that Dagrock's not on, but she's in a flowing gown, and she looks almost like if Maleficent was like a half-orc, and like some sort of sorceress or like priestess, but she's in like all crimson, and she's like sitting down very seductively and regal, and kind of like looking at you all with a smirk. And that's what you see as you walk in. And then there's a table right in the middle of the room with like a kind of a stretched leather skin on it, like a cow skin, like that has kind of a drawings on it, like a map.
Okay, well, orc friend. Long time no see.
Yes, Sir Evil was correct.
Yes, I'm just shaking his hands abruptly.
Yeah, yes, Evil, I remember you. You are a very noble man. If I must ask, what's happened to our wizard friend who didn't exactly take a liking to me?
Oh, he got really stoned. We lost him.
And
Drugs
then
are
Tava
bad.
just kind of like puts her hand, like she's laying there with her hands behind her head, and she just kind of like coughs and like starts laughing and like puts her hand over her mouth, and she's like, "Oh my God, Morden, that was fucking hilarious."
Good to see you again, Tava.
Good to see you. That's why I like you, Morden. That's why I like you. You can make light of these tough situations.
There's not much left to do whenever they're all around you, eh?
Exactly. Well, anyways, welcome to Arl. I know that you have all been loving the journey here. I'm sure that you very much enjoyed the deserts. But yes, it seems as though you finally made it to me. So, Morden,
Yes.
are you ready to pay back your debt?
I mean, I wasn't certain that it would ever really be repaid. What do you mean by that?
Well, doesn't mean you shouldn't try, right?
Always, of course. You know.
All right. Yes. Well, anyways, yes, Felix, thank you, by the way, for bringing them to me. You may rejoin, and then you see Felix, and he just kind of like has this smirk, and he just goes and he stands next to this half-orc lady, and kind of just stands right next to her with like his hands behind his back at attention, with just a kind of smug smile on his face, and looks at you guys.
I know I hated you for a reason.
And then this half-orc, she kind of looks at you and she says, Felix, thank you again for helping me out with this goal. It's so hard for me to get out of the city sometimes, you know? And he says, yes, anything for you, my lady. And he just kind of stands there, and he's looking. And at this point, you all hear just like a very loud racket as that drunk man stumbles in the room.
Well, hello there.
Hello.
Is this okay, Tava? Do you know this man?
Yes. Listen, all right. This man is going to be helping you out, whether you like it or not, honestly. He's the one that Delmus sent, the stalwart champion.
It is a pleasure to help.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I bow.
I mean, the half-orc lady is like kind of looking at Tava, and she's like, "So you mean to say that Delmus he started making this plan with you, but he isn't even here to help see it through. And she kind of looks and she says, "Oh well, Selma doesn't exactly have the same talents that Dagrok and I have, and well, you kind of have the help of proximity, don't you?"
Excuse me, Madam Havelok. I've never met you, but I must say you are the most beautiful, most captivating Havelok I've ever seen. Usually, you guys kind of, well, turn up my nose, but honestly, quite stunning.
Ah, yes. Well, I work hard to make sure it's that way. You may call me Mephisto.
Pleasure to meet you, Mephisto.
Yes, yes. Um, anyways, I'm assuming you are Morden, and then we have Rexathil and Sir E4 here, and
How do you know
Did
my name?
here. Oh, well, I am hiring you to do a job. Why would I not know who I'm hiring?
It's a waste of money. You could have just asked.
Oh, well, it's not really about the money now, is it? I mean, you don't really have much of a choice now, do you? I was told by Baez that you guys would help. Am I incorrect in thinking that?
Oh, god damn it. Yes, we're good to go.
All right. And then, and Rexathil, you are quite the holy paladin. Who is this young one here, though?
That's my squire, Jordan. I met him not too long ago, and he's taking a great attunement to the light.
Ooh. Well, we might have to ruin that one now, might we? All right. Well, now that the pleasantries are out of the way, I imagine that we should get to the reason why we've brought you here in the first place, shouldn't we?
Yes, let's.
And then at that, Dagrok just kind of like, all right, I'll take it from here. And he kind of lays out this map on the table. And you can tell from your limited knowledge that it's a map of Auril. And he points to one kind of a center area. And he says, "This, as you may have heard, is the Spire of Leisure. It is the premier place for the outgoing folks of Auril to visit for all of their vices, gambling, whoring, drink."
Oh, yeah, that's where we have to go.
Yes,
Take us
I was
there.
getting to that. What do you mean? Did you have another assignment there or something?
No, we just helped some guy in the desert out. He told us to say hi to his boss for some reason.
Oh, that's spineless fool Tut.
Yeah, that guy. How'd you know?
Oh, well, he's inconsequential, but I don't particularly like the man.
Yeah, he's a dick. We hate him too.
And
But
we
we got-
actually saved his life.
That's unfortunate, but we did it for money, and that's all that counts.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't have done that, but oh well. I guess I can't blame you. Well, anyways, the goal of our little mission that we're going to be doing here in Auril is that the leader of this Spire of Leisure, a Mr. Alexander Fulbright. Yes, Fulbright. Have you heard the name?
I believe that mutual acquaintance, Sir Tut, was working for the man.
Oh, yes, he's working for him, yes. But as I said, Tut is not important. Fulbright, though, used to be an associate of Taba's here. And, well, let's just say that he's not really continued our line of doing things in the way that we would generally want this to happen. I don't know, Tava, how much do you want to say about this? And Tava just kind of like stands up by the table, and she's kind of like, all right, I'll let you guys into a little bit of a secret, because you're really in a little bit over your heads with people, as you probably have already discerned.
Oh.
But
Wait, can I guess?
Is that a short joke?
I'd like to guess.
yes,
You guys are the trading company, whatever people, and you want to go against Alexander Fulbright. and that's it.
Well,
That's what you're hiring
I
us
mean,
for.
you're not wrong, but you're really short-sighted in this whole thing, aren't you?
A little bit right now, yes.
All right, let's leave it at this. There are forces working in this world that you people, you more commoners, would never really know about. But let's just say that there's some people who are in charge of things that like to have a vested interest in keeping all of their investments safe. And myself and Baez are both a part of this group, as well as Delmuth, and so is Fulbright. Fulbright, however, is not pursuing the type of goals that we want from people in our organization. Therefore, we need him out of the picture. Whether this is dead or disgraced or imprisoned, preferably dead, but really, no matter what, we just need him out of the picture.
Okay.
What harm is he doing?
What has he done to deserve death?
Well, like I said, he just, we're a very adventurous group. We like to really grab life by the horns, and we like to make sure that we have a certain sort of control and guiding hand over the events that are taking place in this realm. And well, Fulbright has kind of stymied his ambitions a little bit and has become complacent, sitting in his spire of leisure and only conversing with the nobles there and taking his sweet rest. We really can't have that happening for somebody of his supposed stature. And that's where our friend Mephisto comes into play. We would like for her to replace Fulbright as the leader of Aurel.
So you're sending us to kill the head of Oral?
This is a very high-profile target. Does this need to
Essentially,
be
yes.
quiet, or...
Oh, well, I hope it's not quiet.
Okay, that's easy.
I mean, preferably you won't get caught because, well, you'll probably get killed. But
How many guards do you want after this is all over?
How many guards do I want?
Yes, how many do you want us to leave alive?
Listen, I don't care if you have to wave a blade of death and destruction throughout half of this fucking city as long as you kill him.
Sounds good to me. I'm in.
This seems a little dark for my taking. I'm not sure if I'm...
You have to remember we don't have a choice in the matter. We might as well take the reward.
Well, tell us a little bit more about this Fulbright character and any sort of powers that we might want to know in advance. Is he a great spy? Is he a great strategian? Or, I don't know, a mage like yourself?
Well, nobody in here is a mage. But Mephisto kind of like leans back and she says, well, Fulbright, I've known him for years. He gained renown as a mighty paladin. But over the years, his nobility really waned and his holiness declined. And at this point, I don't really know if he has maintained any of these holy powers. That being said, he is still a mighty warrior, someone that, yeah, you can. Well, no, you would do a religion check. He's still a mighty warrior to be reckoned with, though definitely not in his prime.
But the
Yes, you know of Alexander Fulbright Rexithil as he was a mighty paladin who kind of came to the forefront, like a couple decades ago. And you remember hearing exploits about him while you were still in your order hall. But then he was one of those stories just kind of drifted. Like you heard stories about him, but you never really heard an end. So you never really knew what happened to him or anything. And the fact that it seems as though he's kind of abandoned the paladin order and is in the city is not really that big of a surprise to you. but you do know that he was once a very noble paladin.
Tell me, Bex, would a man who apparently betrayed the Paladin way, would he still be blessed by the light, or could we just count on him being a normal warrior of sorts?
Well, it depends. I mean, I haven't followed him, haven't heard a story about him in a while, so maybe he had a commune with the gods and amended his relationship with them. But I have a feeling if you're here in Oral, you're probably not one with the light. And I want to look at everybody and just say, no offense.
None taken.
So he's
And
running
the
a pleasure palace, or is this just the name of the aristocracy's tromping ground?
it's essentially you know, a mixture of a gambling house, bar, whorehouse, fight arena, pretty much all of the vices that any sort of upstanding member of Oral might have would be addressed here at the Spire of Leisure.
Well, I think I could cleanse that.
Yeah, and Dagrok's kind of like, all right, I know that you probably have many questions, but before we get too far into this, I will have to say that Felix here, actually, before we sent him out to find you, was actually in the employ of Alexander Fulbright, and he was beginning to get his way within the Spire of Leisure, and I'll have him describe some of the things that he did. And then he kind of, Felix turns, he's like, thank you, Dagrok. Well, so yes, as he said, I was a kind of a minstrel and a soothsayer, as well as I have some of the tables for the card game, gambling game. Nothing really very important, just different things at the Spire so that I could kind of get the lay of the land. So I would be able to help you out with the plan that we'll go about, and I will be assisting you in quest.
Yeah,
Nice.
my friend.
What's whose real name?
Felix?